Hello everyone, this is Alireza. Today I will add my value class. For that I will add a class called enums. I always do this for my enums, and basically I remove this part. So I will have public enum, and that is the data type we want to have. Now data types will be a bool, an int, float, then we have string, then we have rect, vector2, vector3, vector4, quaternion, and the color, I forgot that one. So bool, int, float, string, rect, color, vector2, vector3, vector4, quaternion, and finally animation curve. Okay, these are the type of values that, if you recall, we had conversion utilities for. So now that I have that, I can start adding my values. Remember, the values class will be used in two places: metadata and our node outputs. Okay, so first we want serialize field from Unity engine, and public bool, and we call it bool value. We could call it bool, no we can't, bool value. Okay, and basically we want that for everything. So we have our int value, and let me chop this guy to this side so that I can take a look at it. We will have our float, we will have our string, we will have our rect, and this is rect value, we have our vector2, vector3, vector4 value, and we have our quaternion, then we have our color, and finally we have our animation curve. But of course they are not bools, so we have int, float, string, rect, capital R, we have our vector2, vector3, vector4, quaternion, color, and finally our animation curve. Okay, now you may ask, hey, can animation curve be serialized? In Unity 4.5, if you look into change logs of Unity 4.5, they say that an array of animation curves are now getting serialized. So I assume if an array of animation curve will be serialized, then a single animation curve will be serialized. Now I will use my iCopy interface of value. Values. Did I shoot? Can I change this guy to value? I should be able to. So now I implement the missing member, and it will copy our value for us. But before anything else, I want another serialized field. So bam, and that is our data type. So data type, and we call it data type. So here we say value, and we call it value equals to new value, but well, let's add another serialized field, and this is a string, and we call it name, so we can name the value for ourselves. So instead of going this way, I will say I want assignments, and here we say name equals to name, and no, sorry, comma, and our data type equals to data type. What does this mean? What did I do? I made a value class and implicitly assigned 2 of my members at the construction time. Why not the rest? Because the rest will only happen based on the data type we have. So we switch on our data type, and we say case, and we start with bool. If the data type is bool, then we say value dot bool value equals to our bool value, and we return the value. Not that. Return our value. Okay? So we will repeat this guy, and why the indentation don't work? So if it's int, then we want our int value to be called int value. So we are just assigning one of the values each time based on the type that we have. Okay, so if it's float, then we want float value to float value. If it's string, then we want our string value. If it is, what else, rect value. After rect we have vector2. After that we want our vector3. After that, vector4. After that, we want our quaternion. We want our what's color? And finally the animation curve. So animation curve value equals to animation curve value. Okay, now that we assigned everything, at the end of this switch, we return our value. So we made a copy of this class, we assigned everything based on our settings, and we return it. Okay? So how about get value? So public, and it will return object because we don't know what we will return, get value. Basically, we want the same switch. Boom. But instead of that, we just return this part. So Control X, Control V, return. There we go. And then what? Basically go, if it's not none of them, then return null. Return, where is it? Null. Okay, so that every path will return something. Now we say public void reset to type, and we want a data type, and we call it T. Then we say data type of the class equals to T, then bool value equals to false because we are resetting everything. Int value equals to 0, float value equals to 0f, then string value equals to that. What else? Rect value equals to new rect. Then we have vector2 value equals to vector2.0. Vector3 value equals to vector3.0. Vector4 value equals to vector4.0. Quaternion value equals to quaternion identity. Color value equals to color black. And finally, animation curve value equals to null. Or we can say new animation curve. Here we say new keyframe of 0, 0, and new keyframe of 1, 1. Basically, that's a linear left, down, up, right, linear curve there. Okay? Now, we got our value. We want to set our value. So public void set value with an object, we call it value. We say if value equals to null, don't do anything, return. Let me double check before returning. I can send it debug.log error, and we say could not set value unsupported format or unsupported value type. Okay, so and return. Now we want to check what type of value we have. So we say if value is bool, we say data type equals to bool. We set it, okay? Then we say bool value equals to typecast bool or value, okay? And we have nothing to do, so return. Here I can say reset to type of bool. Type is data type.bool. Okay, so we are resetting our values at the same time. Or do I want to do that? Because if I do this, I will lose every other data that I have. Basically, when I'm changing this type of the when I'm changing the type of the value, basically when I get the value back, of course I won't be able to get the type, because when we are getting the value, we are getting this guy. And well, guess what? Well, let's leave it like this and then add some TryGet values, so that if I can do that. What I'm thinking about is that if I want to reset my value type every time I'm setting a value on it, or if I want to be able to add some value, change the type, but be able to read the previous value types from it. Well, let's keep it this way. More flexibility is always better. So Control C, Control V. If value is int, then data type is int. We typecast to int, and we say int value. If it's float, then we say it's type float. We typecast to float, and we say float. Then we have string. Now this will blow in my face, but we have string and we typecast to string. Yeah, here we go, blow. So string value, and basically it checks for null, so var s. Then we say if it is, what else, rect. We set its rect. We typecast rect, and we say rect value. After rect, we have vector2. Then I'm lazy. Vector3. We have vector4. We have our quaternion. And we use quaternion value. After that, we have color. And we typecast it to color. Not copy, color. And we say color value. And what are you missing? Okay, an animation curve. Okay. Basically, that last return is redundant. Now, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea of having more flexibility. So bool, not string, bool reset equals to false by default. So we say if reset, then we say reset to type of bool. Okay, of this guy, not bool. Else do this. So I will get this part, Control C, Control V, put it at the start of everything. Now I want this part. So this is color, this is quaternion, vector4, vector3, vector2, rect, string, float, and int. So now I can just call the set value and keep everything because the default is false. Or if I flag it to true, then I will reset the other values and set the type now. Cool. And what are you saying here? Yeah, check for null, var, curve. Now, let's try get some values, because get value is just returning the type of value we are currently set on top, but we may not reset when we are setting the values, so I want to be able to get others if we need to. So we say public string. Oh no, that's an override first. So let's override our toString first. And I basically need this switch. At the end, I will return empty. Okay. Now, bool value dot toString. Int. If it's int, then int value dot toString. If it's float dot toString. If it's rect, we can cast it to string, vector2 to string, vector3 to string, vector4 to string. Quaternion we can cast it to string, but well, color is basically a vector4, but for animation curve. Now let's see, what do we have here? We have toString, keys, length, blah 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 blah. I'm not sure what will be the toString of an animation curve, but meh, why not? So now let's add our TryGet values. So public bool TryGet value, TryGet the bool first, and we put out inside a bool, we call it value. So we put it inside a try catch. We switch based on data type, and we say we basically will work on only these guys because the rest can't be converted to a bool. And goddamn, and look at that. Okay. So if you want a bool, return the bool. And where are you not happy? Okay, so we say value equals to false first. Then if it's int, basically we want to say no, oh god. I'm derping. We are trying to get values, so we say shift tab. Why are you doing this? Boom. We want to say value equals to our bool value, and then return true. Bam. Now we are talking. And come on. This is a case statement. Okay. So if it's int, the value equals to, we compare our int value does not equals to 0. So if it's not equals to 0, then we send back the true. For the float, we say float value does not equals to 0f, and you had seen something like this inside our reflection utils when we were trying to get values. So we can simply say return bool dot try parse the string value and then out to value. Bam. Now at the end, if we failed, we say value equals to false and return false. If anything happened here, we just want this. We don't want the exception, okay? And we don't need this exception part. So if anything happened, we just set the value to false and we return it. So let's get others. TryGet int. And we send our value to int. Now, of course, if it's Boolean, then we want 1, otherwise 0. Value. And if it's float, then we want to typecast the float to int and return that. If it's a string, we want to try parse int and our string value. Otherwise, we say it's 0, and in exception case, again, 0. Copy this one, paste, and it's float this time. So if it's Boolean, we add the floats. Then if it's int, we typecast it to float, and it's redundant. Thank you. Otherwise, we send in the float, and here we typecast to float that try parse, and 0f and 0f. Cool. Now for the string, let me check my notes. Huh. Why didn't I have a string here? Yeah, derp. You have two string. Ah, gosh. Okay. For direct. Paste it. And we output to a rect. Now, what we can convert to rect? Well, basically, vector 2, vector 3, vector 4, quaternion, and color. So, if it's a rect, we simply say it's the rect value. Okay? Otherwise, if it's vector 2 equals to new rect of vector 2 value dot x, vector 2 value dot y, and 0 and 0. If it's vector 3, then equals to new rect of our vector 3 value x, vector 3 value y, vector 3 value z, and 0. Then if it is vector 4, delete, copy, paste, vector4, come on, not 3, 4, and our vector4 dot w. Control C, Control V. If you have quaternion, then we have our quaternion value. And finally, if it's color. So we want our color value R, color value dot G, color value dot B, and color value dot A. Otherwise equals to new rect, and without anything, and if we failed, we return a new rect. This is how we get a rect value. Okay. Now I will copy this guy and we say TryGet vector 2, and we send out a vector 2. So if it's vector 2, then we just send out the vector 2 value. Otherwise, if it's direct, we want new vector 2 value of x, and not that, of our rect value dot x, rect value dot y. If it's vector 3, new vector 2, x and y, vector 4, new vector 2, x and y, quaternion, new vector 2, x and y, new vector 2, r and g. Okay. Otherwise, we sent in we set it to vector 2 that's 0, and here we set it to vector 2 that's 0. Okay. Let's see. Vector 3. We set it as vector 3. So if it's vector 3, just send in the vector 3. Otherwise, if it's vector 2, return vector 3. If it is a rect, then we want new vector 3 of our rect value x, rect value y, and rect value dot width vector 4. We return a new vector 3, quaternion, new vector 3, And if it's color, a new vector3 RGB. Okay. Otherwise, we send out the vector3 0. There we go. And after that, vector4. Wow, we have too many. Okay. Vector4. Vector4. If it is a vector4, return vector4 value. If it's vector2, return a vector4. If it's vector3, return a vector4. If it's a rect, return vector4. This is our rect value x, rect value y, rect value width, rect value height. If it's quaternion, we can directly convert it to a vector4, and the color we can directly convert to a vector4. Otherwise, return vector4 0 and vector4 0. After vector4, we have quaternion. So if it's quaternion, simply return quaternion, not quaternion identity, goddammit. Quaternion value, vector2, a new quaternion, vector3, we can say quaternion dot ruler of vector3 value. And actually here I can do that. So quaternion.euler, because vector2 can implicitly convert to a vector3. And now that I think about it, in reflection utils, when I'm trying to get the quaternion, I'm doing it here again. So we can say quaternion ruler of vector of the v. Okay, not sure we can do the vector4 though. Let's try it first here. So if it's vector4, can I say value equals to quaternion ruler of vector4? Yeah, nice. So quaternion v. Now a rect shouldn't be able to directly convert. I don't think so. So quaternion that ruler of our rect value. No, it won't. That x, rect value y, rect value dot width. But I can say this. Okay, so here I will change it to quaternion ruler of v.x, v.y, and v.w width. If it's color, however, color should be able to convert to, I'm not sure. So quaternion.ruler of v, no, r, v, g, v, b. So I changed my reflection util at the same time. Nice. So is quaternion.euler of color value R, color value.G, color value.B. Otherwise, we return quaternion identity. Okay? Now, color. So TryGet color and color. If it is color, then simply return the color value. If it's rect2, then we send in a new color of that. Vector3, we send in a color of that. Color, but the color doesn't have, yeah, it's vector4, so color. And finally, what did I misrect? So new color of rect value.x, rect value.y, rect value.width, and rect value.height. Otherwise, it's color black. Now, the last one is our animation curve. TryGet animation curve. And we send out an animation curve. Now, the only thing we can convert is the animation curve itself. So we send out animation curve value. Otherwise, we can't convert any of these to an animation curve. So we say new animation curve of new keyframe 0, 0, new keyframe of 1, 1. So we send out the linear animation curve. Bam. And we have our values. Now, yeah, let's end the episode here. I was thinking about if I can, because I had seen something that PLY game did, and that was basically encoding and decoding these values, different values, to strings. But you know, I don't think we need that, because PLY game was making his own serialization. We are using Unity's serialization, so we shouldn't be in the need of that. So this is our values class, and we have our enums. Until next episode, have fun everyone. By the way, we don't need this class anymore. Now, what will happen in next episode? I don't know. Maybe I will go back to my editor, but before that I want to take a look at different editors and go through some of them, or no, let's continue our own editor. So until next episode, that I will start my second iteration on the node editor. Have fun everyone. Bye bye.